Hey guys, welcome back to another Planet Zoo video. I think I really slept on the game during the diorama trend, which was a really awesome trend. So today I'm going to be making a diorama for all of the animals in the Arid pack. I would say I have a little bit of experience since I built a dollhouse a couple videos ago, but it's not exactly the same, so we're going to be doing it for real this time. I am going to say I was pretty hyped for a few of the animals in the Arid pack. I think there are some solid picks in there. We got the sand cat, which looks straight out of some bootleg knockoff DreamWorks movie, except you're telling me it actually looks like that in real life. We also got another classic Shrek character, the donkey. They used to call me the wild ass. I'm also really excited to finally get a porcupine, but goddamn girl, what is this? I can see up your whole porcupussy. Everything reminds me of her. Then there's this camel. I don't actually have a joke for you about this one. And then finally, we just got a few deer. I took a lot of inspiration for this build from parts of Northern Africa, mostly Algeria and Morocco, by looking at those two countries on Google Maps. There, I got a feel for the geology, the plants, and like in general, the architecture. Although this is more of a nature scene than anything. You're gonna see me build in a little bit a little market stall with a camel pen, and I'll go way more in depth about that when we get there. But here are a few of the images I used as kind of a reference and a starting off point. So the terrain is really what took me the longest here. Because it's in a diorama, you don't really have the background to blend it into, so I really had to get creative by making this kind of sand dune in the front with some more mountains in the back. Here I am starting to work on the market stall. You can see I'm using a lot of pieces from the Africa pack because that's exactly the style I'm going for. Because of the reference images I saw, I wanted to go with that really nice kind of softer pink and a darker red that I saw in the building on Google Maps. And how I found these places was totally random. I just went on Google Maps and I just dropped my pin in random places, and anywhere I found inspiration from, I just took a screenshot and used that as a reference. But this, you can imagine, is just somewhere that would be along like a main road where they would be selling whatever, you know, like right outside of a town. I really do like the Africa pack for its pieces. I think there's a lot of detail in there. It's really useful for a build like this. Honestly, I am not used to the speed build format yet. I'm very used to doing slow builds, so this is somewhat new for me. I don't even know what to talk about sometimes, so maybe I should just put on like Subway Surfers on the bottom so you guys don't get bored of me talking. One of the main things about this building is that it really had to stand out because it is the only one, so that's why I had to use the bright colors. You'll see after I build this cute little awning here, there's going to be a table with a bunch of goodies on it, just to help further that, you know, pop of color, because the rest of it is going to be rather monotone. I do add some nice greenery because there's a lot of that, you know, just makes it look super fresh. But for the most part, this is kind of supposed to be the focal point because, you know, there's not exactly much else to look at that doesn't just all blend in. So you can see I'm really starting to add some colorful banners here, and this fabric that's going to be draped everywhere, just because I think it's really pretty, and I've seen that in some other builds. I think it looks really nice, and I'm still kind of having that dollhouse mindset, so I had those fabric pieces on the brain since I saw a ton of those actually used to make different like furniture pieces, like the bunk beds, the rugs and stuff. So I think the dollhouse actually did train me on what sort of to use to make, you know, something look like man-made but not like overly large, because I don't know if you guys have noticed this in Planet Zoo, but especially with the base game, a lot of the pieces are like super oversized. If you put down like a Keeper or a Steve Irwin mod prop for scale, you'll notice that some of the things are just like way too big for no reason. Like they are humongous. So, you know, I don't know, that's just really weird to me. So that's why I used so many like workshop items in the last one. But this one, there's not going to be any human in it, so it doesn't really matter as long as it looks good good kind of as is. That's all I really care about. So now I'm gonna start doing some of the terrain painting. You know, it's mostly sand because again, it's supposed to be dunes. So you're really just gonna see a lot of sand and a lot of rock. But I promise in the end, it looks really, really good. It looks just like a desert. And oh my god, look at all of those animals that I have walking around here. It literally looks like freaking Noah's Ark. Like, are you kidding me? Here I am building the pen for the camels. There's a few of them in here and I wanted them to be kind of like pets, just because, you know, they are the one animal that's like domestic or whatever. So I think the pen, you know, it's pretty simple. It's just a bunch of logs that are driven into the ground. Problem with this one though is the camels keep freaking jumping out. Like, you'll see it in a minute. It's so annoying. It's just like, okay, I get it that in real life they would be able to do this too, but you can't like tie them down like you can in Minecraft with a lead, or else that is what I would do. So just ignore that the camels keep jumping out. I think even in the cinematics you're going to see a freaking camel jump out of the pen. It's crazy. But if you just look at it as it is right now with the camels in the pen, looks really, really good, really cool. Lots of grass in there. You know, they've kind of like grazed all of that stuff out so far. So yeah, just don't mind the camels jumping. But now we're gonna get started on some of the rock work. I wanted there to be a couple kind of rocky, really, really jagged mountains in the back because that's what I saw on a lot of my reference images, are just these gorgeous, gorgeous rock formations. So I wanted to kind of emulate that shape and frame the diorama with a couple of really, really nice pointy mountains. This was definitely time consuming. So in order to cut back on some of that like tediousness, I made just one general shape and I copied and pasted it all around, rotating it in different angles. And I actually like the way it looked because it made it look super consistent. Sometimes with rock work, if you just make it all really, really random everywhere, it doesn't look cohesive. So doing it this way added that cohesion back into it. It looked like the rocks were all formed at the same time, and I think it made it look a little bit more accurate. So I did skip ahead a little bit. I just cut out some of the boring parts, but essentially that dead tree right there I made for the porcupine because, like, I don't know these ones climb trees. I think they do, right? Because they're a porcupine. For someone who runs a channel about zoo games, I don't really know a lot about like animals besides the ones here in California, so don't tell anyone, okay? Now I'm just going to be planting up the rest of the diorama. I wanted there to be some distinct sections, make it look like, you know, they're kind of different biomes, like microbiomes inside this diorama. So to the very right back, you had those big mountains. To the left here, you have an area where there's some more shade, some more scrub, trees and stuff. Then there's that big sand dune that fades into some more rocky terrain. I think anything that has to do with rocks is always my favorite thing to do. I think it just always makes something look good. Like, any of the areas that don't have rocks just look super flat and plain. So that's why even on the sand dune, I have to admit, I threw some rocks in there. What I'm working on now is the sand cat nook. I basically wanted it to look like a little den where they either sleep or they go hunting. These cats are tiny, let me tell you, but they still have a freaking massive hitbox, which really grinds my gears because when I tried to put them in here for the cinematics, I could not transport them no matter how hard I tried, which that was really frustrating because I made like this whole area specifically for them, but unfortunately I could not use it. However, I think it looks really, really cool. It's just like a nice little cutout. You can imagine that this is like completely underground, but because we have sliced the earth into a segment, we're now able to see into this little crevice here. So this is just where I had so much fun with all of those different rocks. Like you can even see I put some gaps in the ceiling there that let some light through, and then I'm just planting this up. Again, some of the plants in the front like wouldn't be growing there underground, but I wanted to decorate it, you know, because it is a big slice in the earth. I think I added some really pretty flowers that are growing on the rock too, but again, I just had to make this whole diorama look extra decorated because it is a desert biome. If I just stuck to like plain sand and stuff, it would look very boring, so I tried to fit in some desert plants because those deserty scrublands do exist, and I wanted this to be more than just a big pile of sand on a rock because, you know, that wouldn't necessarily be representative of the biome. Then I'm using some of my favorite dead trees in the game. I think these are the bristlecone pines or something like that, but they look like crazy crazy like roots almost that are growing up through the rock. I don't know if this is a little bit overkill, but I really like the way that it turned out. Now I'm just doing some final touch-ups, doing some extra planting, making the areas around the base of the mountain and the palm trees extra green and oasis-y, you know, taking a step back and just seeing what needs to be done. But that is going to be pretty much it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the speed build format. I certainly had a lot of fun making this. Let me know what you think of my diorama in the comments, what you want to see next. And if you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Expect a new special video on the 16th that everyone who worked on it is really excited for. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.